welcome to another episode of Inside Recreation, where we talk about all the wonderful things happening here in Montgomery County Recreation. I'm your host, Carmen Berrios Martinez, and I am super excited about our episode today. We've got three amazing guests with us. First of all, we have Recreation Specialist Shelby Swann and Chris Oyer. And then we have our Countywide Programs Manager, Jason Fasteau. You guys, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. All right, guys. We have a lot to talk about today, so we are just going to get right into it. We're going to talk about youth sports. And so, Jason, help us understand, right? The county's really been looking at youth sports and kind of nationally and countywide, right, to make sure that we are providing our youth with as many opportunities as possible. Tell me about what the county's been doing.
The county has been focused on, a couple of years ago, the Office of Legislative Oversight produced a study that talked about participation in youth sports, as well as a separate study about gender equity in youth sports. And it highlighted a couple of issues that were taking place in the county. One was that there were certain drop-offs in participation at certain ages, particularly between 5th and 6th grade and between 8th and 9th grade. So when kids are transitioning generally from one school to another. Another trend that was focused in those studies was those who identify as girls and boys in sports, and the level of participation between boys and girls in sports, and the different drop-offs as they get older. So those were some of the highlighted county trends that were in those reports.
And so with those reports, right, how is the county or how is the department kind of responding to that?
So the county has really, particularly the department, has really put a strong focus on bringing and highlighting more rec-based programs. More community-driven programs. And we've seen this nationwide with the explosion of costs, with the highlighting of travel and club programs. But we really want to bring things down to a community level, a rec base, where participation is important, and bringing those characteristics and teaching characteristics of sportsmanship and involvement and participation. Because at the end of the day, we want as many kids to participate in sports as possible. So we have, and my colleagues here will share some of the programs that they've worked on that have addressed these concerns head on and directly, particularly with our girls in sports programs, and particularly with programs that we have recognized are very popular with kids that we're bringing to the table.
So it really sounds like it is going back to recreational sports, right? And so, yes, there are competitive leagues, and those are important for those kids who kind of are participating at that level, but we want to make sure that the department is offering opportunities for everyone, regardless of their participation level.
There are a lot of obstacles to participation for kids: transportation, equipment fees, registration fees, whether they can get coaches, volunteers, officials to participate in those. So we're really working to really break those barriers to participation for as many as possible.
All right, so let's talk about all of the hard work that you guys do, right, in really bringing these programs to the public. And I want to discuss or mention briefly that we're talking about sports that we offer year long. So some are, going to be available now, and then some will be available in a few months just as those seasons come up. So what is available? You guys do a lot of work and you offer a lot of different programming. Tell us about what the availability is.
So, availability, like you said, is all year round. We do flag football program, winter basketball program, which is one of our biggest programs that we run countywide simultaneously. And that runs from kindergarten through high school. And like you said, it's really creating a space for everyone to play. So the kindergarten through second grade, we run an instructional basketball league where the teams do 4 practices and then 4 games. And all of this is really ran volunteer based. So a coach would sign up, volunteer his time or her time to teach, 5-year-olds through
Right.
all the way through high school.
So mom and dad, if you're listening,
Yes.
or grandma, grandpa, anyone really, aunt,
Yes.
uncle, neighbor, whoever it is, right? If you've got that passion for engaging with young people, we've got a job for you.
We do. We have a volunteer position for you.
We
We
do.
do.
Basketball serves roughly 7,000 participants a year. Is that correct? Right? It is,
Yes.
as you said, the largest
And
program.
even just with instructional, I had last season 500 of those participants were free agents. So they didn't come from an already organized team.
Mm-hmm.
We created a space for them to play. We found them a practice facility. We found them a game facility and a coach that was willing to volunteer their time. And I mean, it was special putting together something of that size from none of the players and coaches knowing each other, maybe two friends that joined, another two friends, and then everybody really coming together to make that program run.
That's what it's all about. And you
Yep.
mentioned flag football.
Mhm.
So flag football is like blowing up right now,
Yeah.
right? It's kind of like the pickleball expansion
yeah.
that we had a few years ago, right? It's everywhere. And it's
Yeah.
not just boys, right? Because so many people assume football is boys, but it's not, right?
Right.
So we do have programming geared specifically towards girls.
Yeah, so we in high school, we run a flag football league that is just for girls. We're still pushing the numbers really hard on that. Sometimes the girls are already joined with another team that's already connected, that's a co-ed team, which is completely fine. So we're really trying to get those numbers up for the girls league to run.
Awesome. So Chris, tell us about some of the opportunities that you work on.
Yeah, so some of the other sports that we do volleyball and lacrosse. Lacrosse is a newer program that we just started. We are running at Bauer Community Center on Saturdays in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
But that is more a instructional, get to know the game league, and then as we grow, we hope to offer different levels. And then for volleyball, that is for ages 10 to 17. And we break it down 10 to 11s, 12 to 13s, and then the high school 14 to 17 age group. And we run pretty much every season, fall, spring, summer, and winter. They are 8-week seasons. And again, as you mentioned earlier, for everybody, rec leagues, whether you're looking to enhance your skills or just try the game out for the
Right.
first time.
So as a mom of a high schooler, right, I know that volleyball is really popular. You know, one of my kids will be cheering at a volleyball game. But this league isn't just for those who really know the game already, right?
Yeah, so this is for whether, again, you're just trying it for the first time, you're looking to enhance your skills. It's for everybody.
And I know, right, that we do some other sports that are kind of picking up in popularity here in the States, but maybe are popular kind of in other parts of the world, right? So we do cricket. How's that going?
Yeah, I mean, we do run a cricket program
Yeah.
that's out of East County Recreation Center, and they have a large population over there that are already familiar with the sport. And honestly, we just gave them a place to play. They already had coaches that were involved. We kind of provided a space and some more of the organization that they needed just to develop their league overall and advertising, right? Because there are more people in different parts of the county who are interested in cricket. So I think we're the place that brought them all together.
Right. Well, it's so important, right? Sometimes you just need someone to provide you with the opportunity, right? The tools you need to do something. And so this was clearly a great example of the department being able to provide the community the tools they needed to do something that they clearly already were trying to do.
Yep.
Awesome. And then can we talk about skateboarding a little bit? Because this
Yes.
one's really cool.
Yeah, so skateboarding, it is a very niche sport. We started running at Damascus initially, and then we transitioned into doing some skateboarding camps as well as classes. I know it's even in our youth development program where they're going out to elementary schools and middle schools to continuously build in that program. And then new for the fall, and I hope that will continue in the spring because the numbers look really good, will be at Clara Barton Neighborhood Recreation Center. So there is a demand for it. People are looking for it. I know it was one camp earlier this summer, and it was amazing. We went to visit, and it was 6 girls there from the ages from 12 to 14. And we're like, we didn't even know girls that are 12 and 14 were interested in doing this. But it was all girls there.
Yeah,
and
gone are the days
great.
of, Tony Hawk, boys
Yeah.
only. We are totally
Exactly.
taking over skateboarding. I've seen some of the videos and these girls are amazing,
Yes.
right? They're fearless, right? And the confidence that you see in them, right, when they achieve a skill is awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, okay, Jason, so speaking about some of these sports, right, that are trending nationally, like how does the department kind of look at what's happening on a national or even international perspective and decide what to bring here to recreation?
So we do it a couple different ways. One is we've really taken a look at what the future sports are going to be and the trends. And we looked at the Olympics. And the Olympics in 2028 in LA, there are going to be new sports there. There's going to be lacrosse. There's going to be cricket. There's going to be, well, skateboarding is already
Flag,
a
right?
sport.
Flag football.
And flag football.
Flag
Thank you.
football.
So we've really kind of trying to look ahead, and particularly when the host country has those new sports, those sports expand significantly. So we're getting ahead of those trends and seeing that. We already have an inherent interest in lacrosse just in our region, but building those other programs has really been a focus as well. But we also look at what's popular. It's also important to ask kids what they want and what you see nationally. And so we've really made concerted efforts to listen to the residents and what they want to get as well.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it was great watching some of those sports in Olympics and go like, right?
Yeah.
Didn't think I'd see that in Olympics before. And, I've mentioned it here a lot of times. My girls are cheerleaders, right? And there's talk about when they can get that into the Olympics, but really building that pipeline, right? Making sure that there are enough kids participating in those activities so that you've actually got the participants available to go off and compete on behalf of your country. So that's awesome. All right, registration. How do people register for these programs? How do they find out about the programs? What's available when?
So you can go to MoCoRec.com and you would sign up through our Active Montgomery, or you can call our sports team with questions at 240-777-6870.
And like we said, registration for different seasons is at different times, right? So that information's always on the website.
Correct.
About what season we're registering for. All right. And we talked about removing some of the barriers. And I know that sometimes the finances can really be a barrier for folks. So the department offers financial aid. Can folks use that program in your sports activities?
Yes, they can. And another important thing, since you mentioned that, for winter basketball program, flag football program, not sure if it's for volleyball quite yet, but we do offer that volunteer coach one free participant. So if you're the mom or the dad of the player that's joining either flag football or winter basketball, your child actually plays for free.
Nice.
So we offer that like coupon code.
Awesome. Excellent. All right. So if I'm mom or dad and I'm listening right now and I'm thinking, like maybe I've got time, maybe what does someone interested in coaching need to do?
So if you're a coach that's interested in being, especially a winter basketball coach, you would go to the youth sports league website, still at MoCoRec.com. And there's a coaching inquiry form. You would fill that out, give us as much detail as you can about the team age, your name, contact information, and we're able to build you a team on the back end specifically for your players to register to your team. And if you're unsure and you just register your player anyway, there is a question in our form that asks if you are interested in coaching. So then I'll call you and convince you and let you know about our coupon.
You're very convincing.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So Shelby, so I want to talk about, as I was growing up, there was this big gap in youth sports, right? Between elementary school and high school. And, it really made it hard to get back into sports after having been out of sports for a number of years. So with all of this work that we're doing, right, what are some of those benefits, especially to girls and to women, of participating in sports kind of throughout the school years and into adulthood?
Well, I mean, I think just to speak to what you said about not having those opportunities earlier in like grade school, kindergarten, and all that, those things weren't really an option, or they are, but it's at a very competitive level. So like Jason was saying, we are providing opportunities for everyone to play. So even if you've never picked up the basketball in the 3rd grade or the 4th grade, we have a space for you to play. We have a team for you to be on and a volunteer coach there, like waiting to help, right? But besides that, like you said, as you continue to go through sports, I mean, you're learning all the qualities you need to be a boss female in the workforce, right? Or in life in general. You're learning your leadership qualities, how to work with a team. You're building up your stamina for people to tell you no, and you go get your yes, however you need to go and get it. So.
Yep, you learn how to fail and how to get back up, right? And this isn't just girls. I mean, it's boys as well, right? But really, sports kind of give you that skill set you need to take you kind of anywhere in life. So as we mentioned, the website, www.mocorec.com, you can find information there on how to register, what's available. and most importantly, how to let us know that you're interested in being a volunteer coach. Customer service is always available to you as well at 240-777-6840, and they are able to assist you in Spanish as well. Guys, it was so nice talking to all of you guys today. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thanks
you.
for having us.
And thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here again next month for the next edition of Inside Recreation. Bye.